you're a networker and you go into the group and you know why you're there. You know that you have a life mission and you're there because of that reason. And you know where you're headed. And then you also know uniquely what you bring to that networking group, right? So you know that there's other people there. There may be other people there providing healthcare service. There may be other people there doing consulting. There may be other people there selling real estate. It doesn't matter. You come into that room with total clarity on why you're here in the first place.
And what differentiates.
And where you're going.
Right.
And what value you can offer to the room. Not just as sales, but just what you bring when you walk into that room. Do you think you could be a more effective networker?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what the Vision Challenge is about. That's what I want to teach networkers. That's what we work with CEOs. I mean, again, we go through life without intention, not intentionally going without intention, but we go through and we show up because we're supposed to, and we don't even know we've lost track of. We have it in us. It's not something I can tell anybody.
Right.
And that's what the purpose of the Vision Challenge is to elicit it and then get clarification on it. And then once you've got those, we can accelerate through other focused initiatives on your marketing plan, on your business plan, on your how do you relate to people, maybe even sales. I don't care. Beyond that, once you have that, you come from a position of strength. And if you're a networker, you come into a position of that room, knowing why you're there, where you're going, and the value you bring to the room.
Does that make
Guess what? If you don't connect in that with that, if you have that, if you're if you know your dot that well, if you don't connect, it's not your fault.
Right.
Because you know. The reality was most people come into networking groups and they've never figured out why they're there, what their real purpose is. They've never figured out essentially what where they're going long term. Just that, hey, maybe I get another sale here or something, and they haven't figured out really what the real crust or value that they're providing. So they get us, and so that's why I say that's a whole discovery and clarification process. That if you get that, you're pretty, people are going to want to meet with you. They're going to want to have one-on-ones.
Well,
they want to get to know you, even what you're monetizing is selling real estate.
Right.
If Randy knows where he's going, and he's excited about it, and he knows why he's there, and he knows that he can help me, I want to figure out how he can help me. I want to figure out what that value that obviously Randy knows. I want to find out what that is. That makes me attractive. Or makes him attractive. That makes me attracted to him.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does. I think it gives them confidence too. If they solve all that, they become more confident in themselves.
Well, and you're confident in whatever it is that you're monetizing.
Some people are just not comfortable, quote, network. They're not comfortable making speeches or talking in front of an audience. All of those things are around
I'm
the
comfortable
same
talking
thing.
in front of an audience. I don't like networking.
Yeah.
But when they understand all the stuff you just explained, I think then it's easier. They still may have some uncomfortable talking in front, but they have something of value to talk about now that they believe in, that they are passionate about.
Absolutely.
And that passion helps in the communication to the other person. So now you get the passion. You say, wow, they really like what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. Man, what are they on? I want to find out how do they get like that?
Yeah.
Because I knew them 6 months ago and they weren't like that.
Right.
What stimulated the change?
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it in people. I see it all the time. With Richards and Plano Networkers, with going to Success North Dallas. You can see people, the term comfortable in their own skin kind of thing. You can see people who are on a mission,
right?
That they have a purpose. They're not consumed by the fear part of it. They know that this is the purpose they were put on the planet for, and they know that this is what success or my dream vision looks like. They're probably not there. They may be a whole heck of a long way from that. But they know that what they're doing is ultimately going to lead to that, or they shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Because why add that complexity? Because there's no complexity in life, right? But then they can also know what I bring. That's the big part. I mean, I do that. We all do that. We say, do I really have anything to offer here? Whether it's a conversation or whether it's a network, whatever. Do they need me? We all self, deprecating to some degree, to the point where, we doubt and we fear.
At least doubt.
But once you kind of, again, have the clarity of why God put you on the planet and where you're going with that, what your vision of success or your vision of the ideal future is,
it's big enough.
You know what it is that you're providing to the equation, because you can't do everything. Again, I know all the things I can't do. If that's my focus, see, if you don't know what you can do, if you don't know the value of what you provide, you can't. You get inundated with regular feedback on all of your deficiencies. I live with 5 women. I swear to God, if I wanted to figure out all the things I can't do right, all I got to do is just live.
That's funny.
And the thing is, that's what we all are faced with.
Yeah.
What does that say about us, Ryan?
Women are.
The mass amount of information we get, if we just go through the flow, is all our deficiencies, all of the things we can't do. That doesn't matter. It's what is the value? What is your unique value? And that's what I want to keep in my mind when I walk into a networking group, when I walk in to talk to somebody about potentially helping them out. I can't help them out with I'm not a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a manual therapist. I'm not whatever you are, and I don't want to be. That's not my unique value. My unique value is my unique value, and it's valuable. Because I wouldn't have been put here on the earth for that purpose, and I wouldn't have this dream in front of me if that value didn't mean something. And that's what value then ultimately fuels the ability of me to fulfill my purpose and to achieve my vision. And I'm just looking for people to go on the journey with me. And that makes me an aspiring leader that people want to follow. And I create an audience of people who want to pay me for that, and some who may not. But the reality is I can still help them. At the end of the day, when I'm at my funeral and people are talking about me, I pray that there's a whole lot of people there saying, he made a difference in my life. I think we all want that. I mean, maybe I'm superimposing my view on everybody else. But I believe most people, I approach everybody.
If they're willing to admit it.
Yeah, but I approach everybody as if
nobody
they're
wants an
good.
empty funeral.
I approach everybody as if they're good people that want to make a difference. And maybe they lost track of that. Yeah. Maybe they don't know what that looks like. Maybe nobody's modeled that. I don't care. But I just feel like everybody, I start with that. Now, if you prove to me that you're selfish and a taker and you don't ever want to do anything but what feels good to you at any given point in time, we don't have a long-term relationship in store. But I approach every human because I start out loving people, is where are you at and how can I help? And eventually, if you have enough people like that, that you've invested in at whatever level, that's why your network pays you back. That's how your network pays you back. That's how you become. People are excited when they see you walk in the room. Do you want to be the guy in the networking group that people go, whoa, that guy's going somewhere, or gal? Person. I'm not. That's a non-sex. That's not a non-sex term. But guy is guy. We're all guys to me. But I'm just saying that you want to be that person that walks in the room. People are excited to see, and they want to come and talk to you and see what's going on today. Or do you want to be the person that nobody notices you're there, or you're just there going, oh, okay, I'm looking for somebody to sell something, and they know that, and they're all going the other way. Seriously.
Does the new vision challenge solve that?
People that know what their purpose is, people that know where they're going, and they're going there with or without you, and they know what value they bring, those people attract. They seek alignment. People seek alignment with them. They don't want to do what you do, but they want to be by you because they're on their own journey that aligns with you, and they want to be there because they don't want to miss out. Or you can maybe open up opportunities for them that they would never get. So they want to be your partner. They want to just maybe just hang out, have
Just
a cup of
hang.
coffee. Yes,
Right.
have a one-on-one. See, that's why I
Maybe
say
they don't
the whole
know.
purpose of a 30-second is just for you to know a little bit of enough to want to have a one-on-one with me. And then when you have a one-on-one with me, the whole purpose is, do you want to have another one-on-one with me?
If you
Because
can
we want to build a relationship. And well, if we can find time to schedule it out, that's the whole thing. It's not,
Does this new
it's
vision
all
challenge
a journey. Yeah.
Does the new vision challenge cover all that?
Yeah, the new vision challenge is intentionally that. You should come out of the vision challenge really with clarity, first discovery, and then clarity on your why or your unique reason. The second thing we're doing with it is you should have first discovery of all of the possibilities of your unique vision, okay, and then get some clarity on where today that unique vision lies, what it looks like. And then the last thing is, again, a discovery process of what are all the values, looking at your unique or your ideal client that they see in you, and then getting that down in a kind of a brainstorming fashion, and then clarifying back to, okay, here's the big ones, here's the ones that really define the value from your standpoint that I provide. And once you have the clarity on your unique reason, your unique vision, and your unique value, then you've got that foundation to go into your networking groups, to develop a marketing campaign, to put your messaging together, to talk to your next potential client, whatever. You've got that strength that we just talked about.
Okay, so
and that's the
let me
whole
ask you-
purpose.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's
When you
say
grow.
somebody worked in an industry. They got laid off.
Right.
All right? And they tried to get another job in the industry for whatever reason they couldn't. So someone said, hey, you ought to sell Nutrisystems. Just, and I'm not picking
Right.
on Nutrisystem, but just
Okay,
use it
whatever.
as an example.
Yeah.
They say weight loss and blah, 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 and this person's a good pitch person. They get them to become whatever you call it, a distributor, and they start doing it, and they hate it. They really hate it. It's just not for them. Will the Vision Challenge help someone like that?
Absolutely. Because the first thing is, why did we were just actually just talking about this, because people buy or they connect with you a lot of times on emotion.
Right.
So there's people that know that. There's a lot of gurus out there and a lot of people that can tell you how to get somebody to make an emotional decision to buy your product or your service or chase your shiny object or whatever. It is.
Yeah,
We're never
it's a
going to use that
science.
phrase.
You need to
Never.
be, if I know, if that person knows this is my why, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and they know this is my vision of where I'm going, and they know this is the unique value that I'm pretty clear on, if I especially been around for a while and I provide that value. See, they're providing a value to a corporation as an employee. That may be minimized because the employer doesn't want you to ask for too much money.
Right.
So they want to make sure that you think you can be easily replaced. But the reality of it is, we all have a unique value. Whether you're an employee, business owner, or random networker, housewife, I don't know. Everybody has it. I believe this is the foundation of which we're building this on. Okay, and so when those people are looking for their next opportunity or the next plane to get on because this one crashed or landed, and I got to get on another plane to get wherever I'm going, the next career or the next whatever. If you don't have clarity on why God put you here in the first place, or why the universe put you, this isn't a spirit, or you don't know where you're going,
Right. In any old
then anything, then sell whatever.
Right.
Jump on. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with any of those. But are you going to be successful
and happy?
and happy and
Happy should be part of
optimizing?
successful.
Well, see, again, we talked about happiness. Happiness is the 3 G's. It's giving, right? Does that fit with my theory of networking and what we're trying to do here? It's absolutely. I'm happier because I'm giving. I'm grateful for the people that I get a chance to share time with, right? And I'm always growing because I'm always learning. If you look at those fundamentals and think about Richardson Plato Networkers or think about the Business Growth Network, they're all there. And that's what we're trying to create, a community that is happy because we know why we're there. We're willing to give what we can of our value to those other people in the community, right? And we're grateful for the opportunity to do so. And yeah, we're going to fund it to the degree that we need to. It's a not-for-profit thing, so we're not really trying to make a bunch of money.
But we're growing not just because we're getting leads to get money. I think, again, I said this, one of the things that sets Richardson Plano and BGN aside is the Friday things, because there we're learning stuff that we wouldn't have learned on our own necessarily. So we're growing.
We're intentional now. And this, think about what Anil taught us.
Yes.
Okay, we're intentional now because we added that Friday. We're intentional about helping people grow. Because you need to be growing spiritually, intellectually, socially, financially. Not growing physically, not shrinking physically. Maybe we can't shrink to success in that one. I never thought about that, but But the reality of it is we're growing, so we're happy.
You may not want to tell your wife that one.
But the thing is, you can still come to that room and be growing, right? You've already seen it, or have the opportunity to grow, and you don't take it. Why? Why? Because you've forgotten, or maybe never knew why you were there in the first place, and you don't really know where you're going. So it's just you're spending your time. The great revelation in life for me was when I realized that, and it's networking and everything else, is that you want to invest your time, not spend your time. Because you only get it once. And if you spend it, it's gone, there's nothing there. But if you invest it, then it gets richer as time goes on.
It's like
and your happiness grows.
Because in their generation.
Right? So I retired 12 years ago almost in November. And the average lifespan for somebody who retires normally is 6 years.
Right.
Guess why? Because you're not growing.
Right.
You're not, maybe you read and stuff like that, but you're not continuing to give the way you did before because maybe you don't think you have the resources to do it. You're just trying to survive. Or maybe you get grumpy, become a grumpy old man.
Because you lose yourself.
And you say, I'm critical. This younger generation, they don't know what they're doing. These millennials are just, they just don't get it. The reality is, they're as great and worthy of love and everything else as anybody else. In fact, they're better. In so many ways, they have so many things that they can take so much further than we do.
Absolutely.
Than we did in my generation and the generation before that and generation before that. There's goodness, but the thing is, we're expected to move forward. The dream vision of where we're going personally is what you're trying to get to. We're trying to get to in the Vision Challenge. Is it perfect? No. Will we continue to improve it? Yeah. Have we learned a lot in the last year when we started this? And to be honest with you, put a lot of stuff out there to try and see what stuck and what helped. And probably other than the first 2 days of the Vision Challenge, the rest of the stuff was a lot of stuff that Jenna, thank God, had a lot of stuff, and she repurposed for that purpose. But it was really wrapped around this figuring out your unique value, and then ultimately how to get that message out. We're not going to talk about the marketing, or the tools to use to get your message out in the Vision Challenge.
Right.
That's something that you need to hire a Jenna or somebody like her to help you do once you know what your message is, once you know why you're here, once you know what your vision is, once you know what your value is, and you have that in your hot little hands. When you go talk to Jenna, she could tell you right now, she would love that. Make her life so much easier if you already knew where you're going. It makes my life easier if you want to, if you already have it. But I can tell you, this isn't a statement of whether you're a small business owner, a large business owner, or a corporate CEO.
Or even a business owner.
Or a business owner of any, or just a person.
This is just an individual at this level.
We're just a person. We all go through life with a lack of intention and a lack of understanding. Not intentionally, but obviously. But
we unintentionally
are
unintentional.
Unintentional. And the reality of it is, hopefully, and this isn't going to, this isn't a silver bullet. It's not a silver bullet like any. There aren't, but this is hopefully a step to get people moving in that direction and get some clarity. Now, if they get to the end of the 5 days and they still are fuzzy. I mean, if they have those 2 pages of each of those areas that we're going to brainstorm, and they still need, they're seeking a little more clarity, I can help them with that, and it's not as much time and energy, and we can get it. If they just don't have the time or aren't able to muster it, I can sit down with them then, and they've already got all the raw material. They already got the pre-work done. You know, if you sit down with me and we're starting from scratch,
That was hard.
kind of walk through all this stuff, right?
We tried that.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's hard. Well, there's a reason why some CEOs and business owners pay 20 grand for 4 hours of just getting to that point.
Right.
And that's what the value is that we're trying to offer with this is, you know, and rightfully so, if you've got to do the research and do all the depth and go help them and bring it to them and, you know, look at their industry and do all the possible thinking around those areas and whatever discovery, that takes time and energy, and we've all only got so much. And remember, one of the things we're talking about, if you saw the thing for this 5 days to sustainable growth, that sustainable is important. I mean, I can have all the desire and all the knowledge of why I'm here, where I'm going, and the value I provide, but I've got to provide that value and get some people to pay me for it. In most cases, of anybody we're going to talk to, or else they go out of business.
And on a repeatable basis.
Yeah, and then you become operating in a day-to-day panic,
Right.
you know, underwater mode, just trying to keep your head above water, and then all of a sudden making good decisions is long-term decisions doesn't matter. So the idea is let's get ahead of that curve,
Right.
and that's what we're trying to. That's kind of what we're trying to do.